Okay guys, this is going to be a little bit of a different video. I want to talk about the different microphones and the different the transitions that I've done throughout the period of this particular channel, even though there's not a lot of videos, and primarily on my other channel, which is a lot bigger, has almost 10,000 subscribers, and I do a lot of stuff on. But I've had this process of trying to make the channel better with the audio and everything, and there's been a bunch of different iterations. So today I want to talk a little bit about the different microphones and what I've done. And one of the things I'm not going to do, because I know you've already heard it from a bunch of different channels, is just do the audio from the camera by itself. I probably should have done it, but I have I have 4 microphones going. I have a VideoMicro, a Rode VideoMicro that's right out of frame, that's plugged into the camera. Then I have a Rode Smartlav Plus that's actually plugged into a Zoom F1. I just like the Rode a little bit better. And then I have an Audio-Technica 2035 right here, and then an Audio-Technica BP40 right here. Now, when you're going through and you're trying to find the best sound, you're going to probably go through a lot of the same iterations that I went through. And, the first was the VideoMicro and different shotgun microphones. And they do sound pretty good. I mean, they sound a heck of a lot better on the camera. And even before that, I did some of the long cables plugged directly in the camera for lavaliers. And they sounded okay, too. The problem was it makes me really nervous when there's a cable connected to a camera and it's 25 feet long. And all it takes is for you to forget that the microphone's connected to you and you pull everything over. I had that happen almost had that happen once, so it is a real fear. So then I was looking for better microphones, right? And then I kind of moved over to the 2035. It's a pretty good priced microphone, not too expensive, and it made it sound a little bit better. But now you can see I've moved on from there. But here's the problem. One, my room's not treated, right? I don't have the cool little background stuff on it, and my room is kind of hollow, so there's a lot of sound. And right now, I have an air conditioning going, a ceiling fan going, because it gets hot where I'm at. I can't really turn things off. I've done that before, but after a short amount of time being under the lights and everything, you start to melt, which isn't a lot of fun. So the transition that I had is, I went through the different microphones, and when I got to the 2035, if you get really close to it, it does sound really, really cool. But it picks up a lot of room noise. And two-part. One, if you're podcasting, being real close is not so bad. But when you're trying to shoot video, then you have this microphone covering up your face, which isn't so great. Then, in the process of this, and it was driving me crazy on my live streams when I go back through and I'd listen to it, I got this AT2035. Now, you can get closer to it, but it sounds really good, and it knocks out a lot of the room noise. Now I'll switch around. Like, okay, so this is the AT BP40 broadcast microphone that is running into a cloud lifter to boost the signal because it is a power hungry thing, and that's all going into my Allen & Heath ZI-10 mixer. Now I'll move over to the Audio-Technica 2035. This microphone sounds pretty good too, but you're probably going to hear a lot more room noise. You might even hear a little bit more echo. And it's tough because, if you really want to get close to it, you can, and now I'm kind of overdriving it, but you kind of see the point there is that it makes it really, it's a good mic. It worked for me for a while, and I did some videos with it where I would use it. But all of these type of mics, you have to get really close, and if they don't have a lot of rear rejection and are super sensitive, then you're picking up room noise. Now, the VideoMicro that's above me, that just, it's a great microphone. And compared to, I have a Sennheiser boom mic that I use sometimes too. They work close to the same, but it picks up a ton of room noise. As you can listen to it right now, you can hear the ceiling fan, you can hear the air conditioner, you can hear pretty much everything else that's going on, which is, to me, is really distracting. And then you have this Smartlav Plus, and I bought the Zoom F1 kit, and even though it comes with a microphone, I don't really like the way it sounds. I really like the way this Rode Smartlav Plus sounds, and it does a really good job of getting rid of some of the room noise. So it's kind of like, it's not wireless because it's wired into the F1, but it's separate, right? You sync it in post, and it does a really good job of reducing room noise. I've been really happy with it. I've even used it outside before with wind, and if depending as long, I mean, if I have like a sweatshirt over my shirt and it's underneath there, it does a really good job. You can see my hair blowing and doesn't pick up the sound. So my point on all of this is, one, for you to hear the different microphones, because you may be going through trying to figure it out yourself. You may be saying, well, crap, what do I need to do? The best solution is to go with the best that you can get at the time. And at the time when I bought the 2035s, the issue with that is I needed 2 of them. And we were doing podcasts, so the video wasn't as big of a deal. And they worked pretty good. And we were able to, crank the levels down and do a little bit to try to get rid of the room noise, turn the air conditioner off when we were doing it. But when I finally got frustrated and I went to the BP40, and I didn't test out, but I looked and did a lot of research on the BP40, on the RE20s, the Rode broadcasters and Procaster microphones, and the Shure SM7B. The reason I went with the BP40 is because everything I heard when I was doing the side-by-side, listening test is it was really quiet. And one of the reviews, if I can find it, I'll put it in the link in the description below, was really the catalyst for me, because the person was talking about, comparing the SM7B with the BP40, and they were talking about how just outside the door, their kids were playing, and the SM7B would pick up his dog, would pick up, everything else going on, what was going on outside, and his BP40 wouldn't. And to be honest, that has been my experience. This BP40 does a phenomenal job of just picking up what you're doing. I mean, like I'll switch back to the BP40 here, and as soon as you start going off axis and moving around, it really drops. So it's like, as long as you're in the cone of sensitivity, it works really well. And now the problem is, this whole setup, a BP40, which is like a $350 microphone, and then the shock mount, another $100. The cloud lifter is another $150. I mean, it's like it adds up. But what I will tell you is, when you're editing your videos and you're going through it and you're trying to figure out, not trying to figure out, but you're listening to those little noises that are driving you crazy, that's where you end up, where you're looking for a different solution. I mean, most of the time, I don't know. Do people really care on YouTube? I don't know. I mean, everyone seems to use the video, the VideoMic Pros and stuff like that from Rode, and the videos seem to sound pretty good. But those are expensive, right? That's $300 to $400 for a microphone that, I don't know. I've never tested one, so I don't know. Even this 2035 was a really great mic. The problem was that all the background noise it would pick up. Anyway, and then the Smartlav into the Zoom F1. And I personally, this is my go-to now, is if I'm doing something to where I can use a broadcast mic, I use the BP40. If I'm doing something to where I don't want to use that, and I don't want to have, I don't have to necessarily have the headphones on, but then I'll use the Smartlav. And I've been really happy with both of those solutions, and it's worked out pretty well. Syncing up in post isn't too bad, as long as you remember to do to give yourself a visual and an audio link to find it. Sometimes it's a little hard to remember where you do it, so if you're doing it, do it in the beginning, so it makes it easier. I've done that before, where I've tried to sync later on, and it's like, dang it, you're trying to find the audio part, you're trying to find the video part. Final Cut Pro does a pretty good job of doing it for you, so sometimes that works, but sometimes you still have to tweak it and post yourself. So anyways, I hope this video was helpful for you. I know for me, this whole microphone struggle journey, however you want to say it, has been a tough one for me until I finally have landed on this one. I've actually bought more of these for my podcast so that I can leave this set up. I have all of this on this, on the Rode boom arm, and just set up on the desk for doing this type of stuff, so that I can just jump into it and do my lives and do tutorial videos and stuff like that. So anyways, I hope this helped you. I hope that you got something out of it. If you have a question, please ask it in the comments below. Anything I can do to help, because this was a headache. This was frustrating. So on that, have a great day, and I'll chat with you on the next video. Take care.